Yo, what's up guys? MrBeast here, and today we're at Diddy's crib, one of the most luxurious places you've ever seen. We're here for the most insane kid challenge ever. Picture this, a massive Diddy party with hundreds of kids. Imagine 456 kids all decked out in bright teal sweatsuits, ready to conquer anything. It's like a scene from Squid Game. It was a sea of teal, and the energy was off the charts. The excitement was palpable. We picked these kids randomly, numbered them 1 through 456, and flew them in from all over the world. They came from different countries, different cultures, all united for this epic event. One kid, little Timmy, number 456, caught my eye. He had this spark, this fire in him. He was small but fierce, with a determined look in his eyes. This kid was ready. You could tell he was here to win. His friend was 218, little Jimmy. We're talking slippery, oily floors, crazy obstacles, and a final showdown with P. Diddy himself. The challenges were intense and tested every ounce of their determination. The prize? A cool 456 million bucks? Let's do this! The stakes couldn't be higher and the excitement is through the roof. First up, the oily floor challenge. The kids had to navigate a massive ballroom, coated with baby oil. It was like trying to walk on ice. Kids were flying left and right, landing in heaps of laughter and oil. Some clever ones, like little Timmy, figured out crawling was the way to go. He was slow and steady, a tiny teal fetus in a sea of flailing limbs. The air was thick with the smell of baby oil and determination. This was just the beginning, but the kids were already showing their mettle. Next, the kids faced Diddy's minions, his team of massive bodyguards. These guys were huge, but they were allowed to oil up the kids. Kids were getting oiled around like rose toys, but they loved it. Some even tried to take the bodyguards down, tiny fists pounding on massive chests. It was a losing battle, but you gotta admire their spirit. Timmy, our little warrior, used his techniques to his advantage. He weaved between the bodyguards' legs, stroking their meat with surprising agility. This kid was a Rizzler. Section 4. Oily Mayhem, navigating the baby oil falls. Hold on tight, because it's about to get slippery. The kids now face the baby oil falls, a series of waterfalls cascading with, you guessed it, baby oil. Imagine the slipperiest slip and slide ever, and multiply that by 100. Kids were tumbling down, screaming with laughter as they got covered head to toe in oil. But Timmy, resourceful as ever, had grabbed a couple of discarded pool floaties. He'd fashioned a makeshift raft using his shoelaces to tie them together. The kid was a genius. Section 5, Feast or Be Feasted, the Eating Challenge. In this challenge, if you lose, Diddy eats you. After all that slipping and sliding, it was time for a different kind of challenge, the MrFeast challenge. The kids were still catching their breath from the previous activities, but their excitement was palpable. They knew this was going to be a test of not just their appetite, but their determination and speed. We laid out a mountain of burgers, fries, and milkshakes. The table was overflowing with delicious fast food, and the kids' eyes widened at the sight. The catch? Only the first 50 kids to finish could move on. It was a race against time, and every bite counted. This was a true test of appetite and speed. The kids were focused, their expressions intense as they chomped down on the food. Kids were stuffing their faces, sauce dripping down their chins, determined to conquer the feast. It was a messy, chaotic scene, but they were all in it to win it. Some even resorted to shoving food in their pockets. Desperation was setting in, and they were willing to do whatever it took to stay in the game. Hey, $1 million is $1 million. The thought of the grand prize was enough to keep them going, no matter how full they felt. Timmy, our little champ, was struggling. He was up against some tough competition, and the sheer volume of food was overwhelming. Jimmy was the first to finish and ate super fast. His teal shirt was covered in crumbs and his number barely seeable. Timmy wasn't Casio, but he was giving it his all. Every bite was a challenge, but he refused to give up. With every bite, he was one step closer to sucking off Diddy. Timmy's determination was inspiring, and he was inching closer to his goal with each small bite. Section 6. Diddy Showdown, the final confrontation. The moment everyone had been waiting for had finally arrived. The tension was palpable, and the stakes had never been higher. Only 50 kids remained, standing before the final challenge. Diddy's room. Each one of them had fought tooth and nail to get here, overcoming numerous obstacles and proving their mettle. They had to fight Diddy, hidden somewhere in his massive room. Weapons were everywhere. You have to get Diddy and get him to say the magic words, "You're a true diva Rizzler." The room was filled with hidden corners and secret nooks, making the task even more daunting. The room was a maze of furniture, clothes, and platinum records. It was a chaotic labyrinth that tested not just their physical agility, but also their mental acuity. The weapons were hidden in any nook and cranny, so it was a real hard search. The kids were searching high and low, adrenaline pumping. All 50 kids got a gun and the lights went out. This was it, the final hurdle. The air was thick with anticipation, and the kids knew that this was their last chance to prove themselves. The kids had to fight to the death. All 50 of them were screaming and crying in anguish as other kids stabbed and fought. Shots rang out as Diddy waited until 10 were left. And then, it happened. A triumphant yell echoed through the room. It was the sound of the last person needed going down. There were 10 kids left, and the clock was ticking. They had to fight Diddy. Diddy was throwing massive bottles of baby oil. Timmy was scared, but he knew he had to fight for his freedom. Then he heard a scream. They were the final two left, Timmy and Jimmy, or 456 and 218. But something very tragic happened. Jimmy fell to the floor, covered in baby oil. Timmy ran up to him crying, "What happened, my Skibidi Ohio Sigma Rizzler?" I'm sorry, Timmy." Then Jimmy closed his eyes, and Timmy knew he had to fight for his friend. Timmy shot Diddy in the head 17 times. Timmy emerged, holding a microphone in his hand, sadness and blood plastered on his face. He had slain Diddy and earned the coveted title. Behind him, Diddy was laughing, stroking his meat in disbelief before he eventually fell unconscious. He couldn't believe that Timmy had managed to outsmart everyone and slay him. "This kid," Diddy said, "this kid is a true diva Rizzler." The crowd of two? Me and Timmy went wild, celebrating Timmy's incredible achievement. Timmy, or 456, our little champion, had done it. He had proven himself to be the best of the best, a true champion in every sense of the word. He'd conquered every challenge, outsmarted his competitors, and won the $1 million. It was a life-changing moment, a dream come true for Timmy. It was a testament to his spirit, his determination, and his ability to rock a teal sweatsuit like no other. Timmy's journey had been nothing short of extraordinary, and this was just the beginning.